Bruce, Donald Trump's decision to cancel this meeting catching a lot of people off guard. What's the reaction been there on the peninsula?
Well, the initial reaction from South Korea's presidential office came in the early hours of Friday morning, and it regretted the decision by Washington to cancel this summit, and also said that better communication, perhaps, between the two sides could lead to some sort of progress. The South Korean media characterized that statement as saying President Moon was directly urging Trump and Kim to talk to each other. The statement, though not explicitly saying, though, as I said, encouraging better communication. We've also heard that South Korea's foreign minister spoke to CIA Director Mike Pompeo, and they said they would continue to work together to try and foster conditions for the U.S.-North Korea summit. The response from North Korea came surprisingly quickly today. North Korea saying that it is open to talks at just about any time, whenever the U.S. wants to. It kind of mirrors what we heard from President Trump in his letter, suggesting that when Kim is ready, he can call President Trump, and maybe they can get this thing back off the ground. Of the journalists I've spoken to today, members of the public, South Korean colleagues, everyone was pretty shocked, especially the timing, considering this announcement came just hours after the demolition of North Korea's nuclear testing grounds at Punggye in the northeast part of that country. President Trump had said that it'd be a sign of good faith if North Korea followed through this demolition. Obviously hard to verify what they've blown up and how effective that could be in crippling their nuclear program. But for such big news to follow on top of each other, and after Trump had been so keen to want to hold this summit with North Korea, we were all pretty shocked.
And Bruce, another person quite keen there, as you mentioned, President Moon Jae-in, the South Korean leader. He won election partly because the idea of a rapprochement. What's next in him trying to keep these talks, possibly put them back on track?
Well, President Moon's office is already urging North Korea to continue cross-border talks. So they had scheduled a date, or North Korea requested the first follow-up meeting to the historic summit at the DMZ last month, and then the next day canceled it, walked away because they were upset about military drills the U.S. and South Korea were holding. Well, those drills have ended. President Moon is saying, let's get our working level talks back on track. Let's start to try and unroll some of the peace initiatives we agreed to at the summit at the DMZ. What are some ways they could find common ground or help that process along? Perhaps family reunions. It's one of the most emotional issues between the two Koreas, and multiple presidents, consecutive presidents here, have tried to work to have more of those reunions of family members separated by the Korean War, living in both North and South. They're getting quite elderly. That could be a small step. Possible economic exchanges down the road between North and South Korea. And I think Moon, if he can show once again that North Korea is willing to, operate in earnest, in honest negotiations, that maybe the U.S. will once again try and warm to the idea of holding a summit. As far as we know, President Moon is still invited to North Korea for a second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in Pyongyang at Kim's invitation. He received that at the DMZ in April. So forward progress perhaps for Moon. Can he convince the U.S. to sit back down with North Korea or consider it? It's another question.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce Harrison reporting from Seoul.